Hello, and welcome to the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated Metropolitan Baton Rouge Chapter Scholarship Application Road Tip Session. We're so happy that you're here. This chapter of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated Metropolitan Baton Rouge Chapter is a diverse group of change agents where we have a shared vision of advocacy for Black women and girls where we are unapologetic. We aim at the standard of excellence, making sure that we are advocating in the areas of education, health, economic empowerment, and public policy. So our mission is to improve the lives of Black women and their families by creating programs such as the scholarship program that focus on these different areas. So we are making sure that we are offering this particular merit-based scholarship program for that very benefit. One of the things that we are trying to do with this particular session is just introduce you to our scholarship program and give you the cheat code on how you can win this scholarship. So for all of you Black girls and women that are either seniors in high school, undergraduates, or graduate students, we are excited to have you here and we are ready to let you know exactly how you can win. However, one of the things that we're here to do also is just give you the cheat code for any scholarship that you may apply for out there. And we are excited because our scholarship program is now extended, the deadline, for March 9th. So we are going to set you up for success. One of the things, just to start us off, is to know what the difference is between a merit-based and a needs-based scholarship. So a needs-based scholarship, you may need to submit financial information, such as for your parents' information and your school costs and all of those different things. Merit-based usually is on your merit, your grades, your activities, all of that type of information. And that's what we're talking about primarily here today. So we are excited to have you here and ready or not, here we go. Are you ready for the cheat code? I think you are. Let's do it. So one of the first things that we like to tell all students is apply anyway. There are going to be so many scholarships out there that do require for you to have X, Y, and Z. Well, you may only have X and Y. Apply anyway. Let them tell you no. And the reason that you apply anyway is because usually the more you apply, the more chances you give yourself to win. And the more you apply, the better you get at doing these scholarship applications. And one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself is start locally. Start locally looking at a lot of the different scholarships that are in your area. Well, why would you do that? Why would I limit myself just to my area? Well, one of the things that you may not know is that the pool is smaller. That means that you have a little bit less competition. Not that I don't think you can handle it, but wouldn't it be great to compete against 10 other people instead of 1,000 other people? Your chances are definitely better. So apply anyway. Make sure that you give yourself the opportunity to at least get some feedback on how you're doing and how you're applying. All right? So you've got to get yourself ready to get that yes. I know you can do it. And then the other thing is that many scholarships that are merit-based and even some needs-based are looking for you and what it is that you are doing in your community, for you to tell us that. And so what does that mean? Maybe I haven't even volunteered yet. No problem, no worries. Some scholarships don't even have a minimum of how many hours you need to apply. What does volunteerism look like? Well, we are an advocacy organization, but what we love is that our young people are actually doing some service out there, whether it's at school, whether it's at your church, whether it's at any other local organization. All we're asking is for you to let us know, how are you serving? What other things are you doing for other people that they may not even be paying you to do? All right. And that's the volunteerism that we're looking for. So even if you haven't done it yet, still plenty of time to go out there and find something to do in your community. All right. Next thing is, most organizations are going to ask you, well, who are you and what have you done? So not only just in volunteerism, but are you doing anything in school that you can put on your list of things that you've done? And basically that's what a resume is. I know, you probably haven't had a job yet, maybe that has paid you. No worries. That's not what we're looking for here. What is your GPA? What have you selected possibly as a goal for yourself in high school, past high school? What classes have you taken and have you really enjoyed? Have you been selected for a social studies project prize? Science project award winner? What things have you been even selected to do at your school that maybe others have or have not? Have you done any presentations? These are the things that we want to know, and those are perfect things to put in your resume. All right? Ooh, all right, so here we go. We got some examples here of what not to do. You don't want to be this lady in these pictures. One of the things that you want to do is put your best foot forward and best face forward. So one of the things you want to do is make sure that when you're taking a picture, lighting is in front of you. Make sure that there's nothing else in the picture. We want to see your pearly whites and those beautiful eyes. Make sure that we're not making any extra faces that detract from us and who we are, and make sure that we're professional. Can I take a picture with my cell phone? Absolutely. Our phones nowadays are fantastic for it. There's a portrait mode. If you have somebody else that can take the picture for you, you can take it yourself. One thing that you want to make sure of is that when you save that picture, the higher the number, when you save it, that size, the better. If it's a low number, that means you can't really use it in a lot of spaces. So make sure that you're putting your best forward and in getting a professional picture. All right. And so this you can put on your resume as well, but most scholarship programs will maybe ask for it in a separate file. So be ready with that picture. Okay. And here we have one that is tough for many of us to do. And so here's a little trick. When you're writing about yourself, first and foremost, maybe if you can step back, just use your name. Or if you can step back even further, use she or they. And then when you're ready, maybe you can come back and say I, or just use your name. So that's a neat trick because sometimes we're a lot nicer to others than we are to our own selves. So take the time to maybe write it one time and then put in there even what other people have told you. What great things are people saying about you to your face and giving you compliments on? Write that in there because you want to make sure that you brag a little on yourself. Okay, tell us all this. Answer the questions. This is another good one where you can get assistance, maybe from your parents, your teachers, and this is where what you're being graded on or how you're being scored in a program when you're being selected. Definitely here is where you should spend a lot of time because this weighs a lot. Okay, so answer the question. If you have not answered the question, you may get points taken off. So get maybe an English teacher to look it over and don't tell them what the question was. Let them read it and then ask, hey, what did you think the question was? What did I answer? And then after that, you can take a look at what else might you need to add or take away that would give you a better shot at answering that question. Check your work. There are lots of tools out there. You can again go to your English teacher, your parents, anybody that can give you some very good feedback. But there are tools out there like Word, Grammarly that give you the red squiggly lines, the green squiggly lines, the blue squiggly lines. If you see any lines like that, that means that something might be off. Check your work. Try to do it in enough time to where you give yourself time just to do a final check through. All right? We want you, again, to put your best work forward. Be on time. This one is a good one to start thinking about what are the requirements of this particular scholarship and what's going to require the most time or effort. I would then work backwards. So take the requirements, jumble them up, and try to put them in order of what takes more time and energy and effort. Because one of the things that you don't want to do, let's say for instance, hints, if you have to turn in a letter of recommendation and a letter of service, then, and we are looking for that, then you may want to give that particular person that you're asking to do this recommendation letter for you enough time for you to have them submit it and not have it seem like it's last minute. So that's one of the things that I would put high on my list and say, you know what, if I have 2 weeks to turn this in, they're going to be the first thing that I try to check off. I'm going to contact that person, let them know what I need so that then I can do everything else on my list and make sure that I submit on time. You want to give yourself about 3 to 7 days timeline before the scholarship is due to have everything in order and ready to submit. I know. A lot of us are procrastinators. A lot of us, we may end up procrastinating a little bit, but that gives you a nice push. All right? We're going to set ourselves up for success. Oh, this is such a good one. A lot of us don't normally use our email. A lot of us don't normally answer numbers that we're not used to seeing on our phone. But when you are applying for any program, any scholarship program especially, you have to make sure that you look at what email am I using and am I checking it regularly? Because you may get questions, feedback in that email that can make or break your chances of getting that scholarship. So check your email and make sure also that you are possibly checking your text as well. All right? We want to communicate to you. All right, so that is the end of our tips and tricks. So what's next, Susanna? Well, what's next is I'm going to now walk you through the application that we have for our high school students and our undergraduate and graduate students. So hang on tight. We're going to go ahead and do this box by box, if you will, so that you make sure that we have everything that you need in order for you to have a successful application. And we are ready here to take a look at the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Metropolitan Baton Rouge Chapter Scholarship Program, website, and actual application. All right, so if you're ready, I want you to take a look at what exactly do you need to be successful at submitting your application. First and foremost, we have several ways that you can get to this page, to the scholarship program page. And one of the ways is a QR code that is located on many of our flyers. There's also the bit.ly, which is the short address that will get you to this page as well. And then you can also just type in our website address, and that will get you to our website and also get you to our scholarship program page. So however you can get here, get here. We have several ways, just social media, different ways that you can get that address, but you should be able to see it. Most of our addresses are ncbwmetrobr.org. That's how most of our social media pages and everything starts out. ncbwmetrobr.org. That's our website. So I am here. I am on our scholarship program page, and these lovely ladies here that are on our website are our last year winners that were the majority of our last year winners that were honored at our breakfast, our royal breakfast. And so this year we will have the royal experience, where we will also award and honor all of our 2024 recipients. So you will notice that our scholarship program awards $5,000 in total, where we break it up into a high school senior category, undergraduate, and graduate student category. So what you'll see here on the page, even before you get into the application, we're trying to set you up for success. Take a screenshot of this, get yourself together as to what will I need in order to be successful to apply and win. So high school versus undergraduate, we have, and graduate students, we have a couple of different requirements. And so high school graduating, where you going? We just want you to be able to go to or be accepted to a 2 or 4 year college, university, or technical vocational school. I'm gonna get it right. And so if you are in any one of those categories, you are eligible. If you are planning to attend these schools, we will ask for verification. So all applicants must be currently enrolled in either high school, undergraduate, or graduate school, or again, provide proof. And you have to have 2.75 on a 4.0 scale of whatever time period you're in. If you're a high school senior, then we're going to ask you for last semester's grades, and these are the requirements. All right. And so you're going to also have a letter documenting your community service, and you're also going to have a letter that will be submitted for you that will be a recommendation from someone in your school, someone, an administrator, someone that can verify who you are, what you've done, and what a great person that you are. So you want somebody that will write something awesome for you. So we also have special consideration that is given to those students that have participated in or worked in any National Coalition of 100 Black Women Metropolitan Baton Rouge chapter activities or programs. So you'll notice that there as well. And we are highly looking at those Louisiana high school-based students, okay? As well as HBCU, the historically Black college and university attendees. So we're also looking at those. So these are some things that if you fall into any of these categories, you may get a boost up, because we are definitely prioritizing these areas, because as the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, these are things that we stand for and unapologetically advocate for. So here you will note that you will have to submit certain things by a specified date. And so on our website currently, you'll notice that we do have February 24th on here at the bottom, but you will have an extension. Everyone will have an extension for March 9th, all right? And so we're updating that as we speak. So you are getting this fresh off the presses, okay? So You will also see that you will need to complete the application in its entirety. You will have to submit a transcript of your current grades, and that you will also have to have letters of recommendation. And you'll notice that we're telling you exactly who we are looking for to write those for you. So be very intentional about reviewing these and getting the right person to write it for you. We're looking for 250 words or less in a personal statement. And this is asking you to look at why you should receive this award and what your plans are for the future. And one last thing that's listed on here, we also are looking for a video. We want to see you shine, and we want to hear your voice so that you can tell us exactly who you are and why you deserve to win this scholarship. Okay. Any questions that you have, you will be able to find us on social media. Like I said, most of our social media is at NCBW Metro BR, and ask us questions on anything that you may have questions on. But you can also find the link on our website if you do have any questions. Okay. But if you go into the application, so now we're going to go into the application. I want to take you step by step. First and foremost, best thing about this application is that you don't have to necessarily finish it today, but you can certainly start it today. All right. And what does that mean? It means that this particular page is going to remember whatever you type in. Now, if I start on my phone and try to finish on my computer, it may not know that I started on my phone and want to finish on my computer. So wherever you start your application, make sure that you finish it there. So that way you have a very good opportunity of keeping up with anything that you've already put in, and you don't have to repeat that step. I know that saves a lot of time. So the other thing that you can do in this application is, if you're looking at the very top, there are some headers, some headings, some titles that will tell you exactly what you will fill in where. So if you're ready to fill in information on one area, but maybe not in another, you can go and jump to that page so that you can go in and do that. And so I'll show you. So first page is just our purpose. We want to make sure that you understand exactly who we are and what we are doing. Next thing is the eligibility information. And this, again, is already on our website, but we're showing it to you here again, just as a reminder, so that you can know which page you're on too, because this is the high school page. And then the procedure. It gives you a good indication on what exactly is expected and what you should make sure that you're checking off your list, okay? And so your applicant information, make sure that you are taking your time, putting in your name, you're typing it as you would any other name. And when it doesn't like something, or when you have not filled something in, it may yell at you. So it will be very clear in telling you what's required. If you see a little red asterisk, this little star, that means that it is required for you to submit that information, to submit your application. If you don't get a submitted message, that means you're not done. Okay, so phone number is very important. This is your home number. We want as many numbers as we can to reach you. Okay, so phone number, cell number, your date of birth, your email address. Double check, triple check your email, because this will send you a submission message, a receipt of your submission to your email address. You will put in your mailing address. You will also, if you are younger than 18, you will have to put in your parent or legal guardian's information, their phone number, their cell number, and they also will need to review your application to make sure that they are good with what you are submitting, okay? Your professional headshot. When you click on any of these browse files areas, this means that it's gonna go and try to find, in this example, your picture, okay? So when you are looking for your picture, you just click on here and a pop-up will let you know that it's ready to go find this picture. You can also just drag and drop. So this area, you can drag and drop files here as well. One of the things that you will note is that, again, it says no selfies, but you know what I mean by no selfies because we've already talked about it, okay? So what is your high school name? What's the name of your counselor? What's your GPA? Do you have a class rank? Some of you may not have this information, and that's fine. Do you have an SAT score, ACT score? Do you have any one of those? Put those in there. You'll also be asked, when are you due to graduate? And then you'll also be asked for your transcript. This information, you may need a little lead time if your counselor needs to get this information to you. We will accept some unofficial transcripts to start. If later we need to re-verify, which we always do, we will ask you for this information. Again, where do you plan to attend? For some of you high school students, for some even grad students, this may change. That's okay. Just tell us where you think you're going to go. What's your intended major? Where is your college or university located? Have you applied? Have you been accepted? So those questions are listed there. So also, you would want to know information about you, a lot of information about you. Now, you have a choice here where you have your applicant activity sheet. Maybe you don't have a resume, and that's fine. Let's say you just want to put in your awards, your organizations, and any positions that you've held in volunteer or community activities. So you can list all of those things individually here, any work experience. Or you can submit a resume. So that file, whether it's a Word file, a PDF file, that can also be submitted here. Now, one thing that I will go back on, and this is for high school and graduate and undergraduate, you want to make sure that any files that you're sharing with us are not password protected, that they are not blocked out to anyone that accesses the files. Make sure that we have the ability to see them with no problem, okay? So you want to make sure that if you're giving us a link, if you're giving us a particular file, that we have quick access to it, okay? Very important, because we don't want to slow down the review of your application. Your personal statement and video. Your personal statement is first, and that is going to be put here. That could be a Word document or a PDF document. And this is where you are answering these questions here, covering these things in 250 words or less. Yes, the more that you stick to that, the better, because it allows us to review your application even quicker. So that's on this page. And then personal video. The personal video is a 2 to 3 minute video. Now, this video can be quite large, so you want to make sure that, depending on how you are uploading this file, that you make sure that it completely uploads. Or if you do not want to submit the actual video, give us that link, whether it's Vimeo, YouTube, Google. Some iPhone files are very tricky because sometimes you need a certain application to open things, so be careful. Be careful with what you're submitting and make sure that that file is accessible to anybody, anywhere, okay? And so then there's a release statement. We want to make sure that you are reading all of this information, because there is the legal piece of us making sure that you are okay with us looking at your information to start, but also even using your picture and all of that fun stuff. So this is where you will sign, and your parent will sign if you are under the age of 18. And then there's a final checklist. Do you see a pattern here? We want to make sure that you know exactly what you need to submit to be successful. It is somewhat lengthy, but if you, again, prioritize in the right way, then you will be able to have all of these things ready to go when you're needing to upload your information. So that final checklist is just you literally checking these things off, and then you will submit. That big old yellow submit button will change when you are done. You can save this application as you go. You do not have to do it all in one sitting, but when you are done, you will know you're done, because it will email you and it will give you a fantastic job, you have done it submission page, okay? So you can also save and print your form if you want to, so that way you have that, just in case something happens and you're like, oh no, but I did do it, or I submitted it, then you have that as well. Now, you'll notice, again, this application is very, very intentional and smart about letting you know if there are any errors, if there are any issues, okay? So far so good for my high schoolers, all right? So for my undergraduate and graduate students, you have a separate page, but it's extremely similar to your high school application as well. The only difference is some of the wording, and again, who all we're asking you to go and take a look at, asking for your letters. So your application procedure, again, very similar, giving you all of those details. And then your applicant information is where you're going to tell us, are you an undergraduate or graduate student? And all of the information that we need from you, again, same thing, make sure the email that you give us is the email that you're going to check. And if you happen to be under 18, same thing here, you're doing headshots. So a lot of things are very, very similar. And so you have a few less questions when it comes to your applicant activity and even your applicant information. So here, where are you attending? What's your major, your classification, your GPA? When are you anticipating your graduation to be? Any awards, any organizations, community, volunteer, school-related, any work experience, and or your resume. Same here. All right, so the more information that you give us to let us know who you are, what you do, what you've done, what you are going to do, the better. And so here, again, a page for your personal statement, a page for your personal email. All right, you can submit the actual file, submit the link. And again, remember, just make sure that we have access to it. And your release statement, again, letting us know that you are good to go, that you certify that all the information that you're giving us is actual and factual, and that we can use this information to review, that we can ask you questions, all that fun stuff, and that we can use your images, your pictures, all of your details. And so here, final checklist, and then that handy dandy submit page that will let you know exactly where you stand and whether or not it's truly submitted. So you want to make sure that you double check, triple check. We are also listing here an email address that you can use at any time to contact us. Make sure that if you want to save your entry, print your form, save as you go. If you're not done, you can come back, edit as you go, update as needed. It will remember your application. It will remember your application. So you do not have to do this all in one sitting. Okay? Last page that I will go over is the letter of recommendation and service. So here is where you will send your recommender, your person that will verify your service, your volunteerism. They will come here, they will type in your name, they will type in your school, they will type in their name, they will type in their email, and then they will click on upload file, and they will send us, hopefully, their letter of recommendation and verifying letter of service on letterhead, just to let us know that they're the real deal. And so once they upload this file, they can click on this, and if there's any additional information that they want to tell us, share with us, they can do that here as well. And then all they have to do is click submit. And once they click submit, they're done. And if you want to check in on your person, just check in on them. Let them know that when you're done your part, or even if they do theirs first, let them know to let you know that they've submitted your letter. Okay. So their letter is also due on March 9th. So everything is due on March 9th. That's the extended deadline. Originally it was February 24th, but we are now extending that deadline. So you're getting this again fresh off the presses. And so as we change the dates on everything, you will see that also change. So keep up with us. You'll see all of the updates on social media as well. But if you have any questions, our email is education@ncbwmetrobr.org. You saw that again in your application. You will see that if you have any questions that you can email us, but please feel free that if you're on our website, you can also contact us. There's a contact area on the website as well. So any way that you want to get to us, whether it's on social media, the website, or email, please reach out with any questions. We can see those that have started the application, and we will reach out if there seems to be any issue or any question on your submission. So who's ready to submit that winning application? I know it's you. So we look forward to having you apply and be a great applicant, not only for this scholarship program, but any and all scholarship programs. Go out there, get that free money. You qualify. You are the person that these programs were made for, and we are happy at the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Metropolitan Baton Rouge chapter, to advocate unapologetically for you to win these scholarships. We look forward to working with you, having you apply, and seeing you also welcoming you in all of our different programs that we have at our chapter. So thank you, and we look forward to working with you.